Good afternoon. How are we? Welcome along. It is another Inspire and Be Inspired conversation. Andy Ward presents, dual broadcasting on Facebook and on YouTube on this fine Thursday afternoon. The sun is high in the sky here on the Costa Blanca, and today I am bringing on a guest who is going to tell us all about his wonderful journey in the music industry. We're also going to be talking about inclusivity, and we're also going to be taking a quick look at mental health issues within the music industry, but most importantly we're going to be shining a light on the wonderful talent that is the house poet, aka Michael Grierson. Now, just before I went live, I tried to change over, and I'm not sure if he's going to be there when I press his button, and he isn't. So what I need to do is there you go. Mike, you know how it goes, right? You can work your butt off to get everything spot on, and then the gremlins always come and put pay to all of the hard work, right?
Yeah, correct. That's the wonders of live streams.
Indeed. I'm just waiting to make sure that everything is actually working and that we are live. So because of the issues that I've just had, bear with me. Just let me make sure that the stream is actually live and it hasn't gone off. Yeah, it is live. And there you go. We are live. Hello, everybody. Forgive the absolutely catastrophic beginning, but that means it's going to be a great conversation, right? So Michael Grierson, aka the house poet, I used a kind of ironic title, really, because in itself it doesn't make any sense. The deaf DJ who refuses to be defined by his disability. So I'm already opening up and shining a light on that. But the reason is because I've known you for many years. Our paths have crossed on the scene. And it wasn't until, as I say in the description, that in-depth conversation that we had in Ibiza that you told me about the adversities that you've overcome along the way, right? So what I want to do eventually is talk about that. But first and foremost, I want to find out more about you as a person, about your history, your upbringing, how you are so active in the scene. And I think we'll do that over the course of 90 minutes or even longer if need be. Is that something that we can do?
Yeah, that's great. It sounds really, really good. I can't wait to share my story with everyone.
Beautiful. Now, for some reason, I am not able to see any of the chats, so I need to put that right. He says again. So let me just go and make sure, because I'm fairly certain people are going to want to let you know how fantastic you are. And they're also going to want to ask questions or speak, whatever. So, yes, there you go. I have the chat up. Shout out to David Lynn. He's saying good afternoon. He can see and hear us both perfectly. So thank you for that. For some reason, I haven't got it on my screen. I'm not going to let it fluster me. So Michael, Michael, how do your closest, your nearest and dearest, how do they address you?
Either way, Mike, HP, Michael. It just depends. Some call me other names, but I won't say that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with anything. Michael, I'm fine.
Okay. So I was thinking to myself, because I always make sure to not go too in depth in people's histories, and I was thinking, I can't actually put an age on this man. So tell me when you were born, what area of London you're from, and what life was like for you growing up.
Okay, so I was born in 1978, so I'm 46 years old. I was born in East London. My mum brought me and my brother up, so 2 boys in East London in Forest Gate, Newham. And yeah, our upbringing it was a struggle, to tell the truth. You know, my dad was in jail. And, you know, my visits on a Saturday was going to see him instead of playing out with everyone else. And my mum was working, trying to earn money to look after two boys. So we had a good community in Forest Gate where everyone looked after each other. So I was always in friends' house. And, you know, we class each other as family and call each other, you know, that's your uncle and stuff like that. So we grew up in a gritty part of East London, poverty. Most things was run down, but we always had, you know, the city to look at and something to try to inspire us to try and make a better life for ourselves. Because yeah, my upbringing is quite a lot. I lost a couple of close friends at an early age. I lost a good friend to cancer, and I lost a good friend who was murdered around about 18. So yeah, it was a bit of a struggle in East London. But one thing that we did have in East London was a great spirit and a great community of music, and so many musicians and people that done music. So that's more or less how I kind of got myself involved into music. But yeah, growing up, I left school with no GCSEs. I went to an all-boys school, St Bonaventures. It was a Catholic school, so it was very strict. And yeah, you know, I guess I could have had a better schooling. I'm not going to take anything away from it. We learned some good values and good morals. And you know, we just, you know, we just tried to get by, I guess, in East London until you got to a certain age where you could, you know, start making some money for yourself and, you know, putting some money into the household and helping out a bit more. But I did have a great upbringing, a loving upbringing. My mum, you know, she was always there for us and always helping us. And yeah, we had some turbulent times with her as well. She got diagnosed with cancer. So for the past, say, 15 to 20 years, she's been in readmission. Nearly lost her life a few times. So yeah, so we had a lot of struggles and a lot of mental pressures. But overall, it was a great upbringing, a great community, loads of people helping you, loads of people to look up to as mentors within music. And yeah, it was just, I wouldn't change my upbringing, if I could say that. It's made me the person I am today. It's given me a lot of understanding on issues and things people go through. So, you know, it's made me humble, and it's made me value life. It's made me also not take life for granted, and also try to live for the day, because tomorrow's never granted for anyone. So yeah, it's got me to this day of being 46. So I'm thankful for my upbringing.
Wonderful. You painted a great picture there. What age difference is there between yourself and your brother?
2 years.
Okay.
So he's older. He's 2 years older. Yeah.
Okay. So that will make you having to go through those struggles around that time in the UK. I have a few years on you, but I definitely can relate to a lot of the things that you've said, and it will make you relatable as well when you're talking to youngsters as well, because sometimes there's nothing worse than somebody trying to connect with a group of people that you just simply have no rapport with, because you've got no point of reference, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I've tried to always encourage youngsters, always show them my story, and, you know, try to use my platform, or when I speak with people, or I've gone to speak at schools and stuff, try to show them the realness of it. and not try to cover up and paint a picture of, you know, this lifestyle what everyone thinks a DJ and you're out and everything's great and, you know, we don't have no troubles and no struggles. But the main thing is giving youngsters and children growing up people that they can look at and say, you know what, I'm going through that, and this person's, you know, they've come through it in a sense where they can now educate or maybe give some inspiration in a way to say, you know, keep going, don't give up, don't turn down the bad road, because the bad road's always there. In the lifestyle we was brought up in, there's easy money to be made, but with easy money being made, you know, you can lose your life very quickly, or you can be locked up. So it's about giving them something when there's nothing about, and giving them the belief to keep going and believe and keep believing in your dreams, and putting yourself around the people that could ultimately get you to where you're trying to get to. Because I guess we're all trying to find ourselves in a way. And I've been at places where I've tried to find myself and thought, oh yeah, this is where I want to be. And you get to that place and all of a sudden you're like, no, this is not where I want to be. This is completely different. So using them experiences and trying to give back, because I'm always a believer of, if any knowledge that you learn, you know, you don't want to go to the grave with it. You want to be able to give that knowledge back, and whether that's teaching someone, whether that's helping someone who can't do something. So that's the kind of place I'm at with inspiring youngsters and trying to get them to a level of self-belief and loving themselves.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Wow. There would have been a long journey before you would have had the ability to do that. So you spoke about music and being an escape and a sanctuary for you back in the day. Tell me what kind of age where you can think, you know, that you really started to get hands-on with music, whether that was with instruments or going to a youth centre, playing music.
Yeah. So so before my dad went to prison, he always used to have records. I've got most of the records now. So, you know, I used to listen to soul and funk and all of these kind of grooves. When my dad went to jail, when my mum finally was with her new partner, he was a Rasta, and he was in a band called Coptic Roots. And they used to have a studio in a little cupboard in my mum's house. So I learned how to, you know, that's from an early age, say about 7, 8, maybe 7 or 8. So I was learning how to, you know, touch a couple of keys, learning how to cut on reel-to-reels, doing stuff like that. And then in that era, I think it was probably around, say, 86, 87, 88, breakdancing was a big craze. Like, so I was into breakdancing. I started to go to like a dance hall. It was for underprivileged people and people of poor backgrounds. And there was a lady called Peggy O'Farrell up in Barking High Road near West End Football Ground. And she was an old white lady, really old lady. And she embraced us and gave us a vision, and started to learn different types of music and different things. And I was fortunate to be selected to go and perform on the Royal Variety performance.
Right.
In Queen. So
what was your move?
Yeah, I was the smallest person there. When we was at the side, they said, wait till the music starts and then everyone come on together, and then we're going to start the music and start breakdancing. But Rock Steady Crew was there, and I was, always inspired by these people. So before the music even started, I just run onto the stage. So they had to start the music, and I'd done a swan dive, and I'd done some little turns and twists. And I'm really small, but I've got a screwed up face, like doing all this stuff. And that was kind of, wow, this is where I want to be. I want to perform. I want to do stuff like this. And I continued to do that. And it was around, say, 89. My brother, he persuaded my mum to get some 1210s. And we had 12, I think there was 1200s or 1210s.
1200s, maybe.
1200s, yeah. Silver one. And he had them in the room. And in our area, they had a record shop called Underground Records, The Underground. So music was flying about, and everyone used to come into the room with my brother, and they're all trying to learn how to mix and stuff. And that was going on for a few years, and my brother would never let me in the room. Being a big brother, he was like, no, you're not coming in here, you're not touching anything. And I remember one time I asked the DJ that came out of the room, I want to learn how to do this. How do I mix? And he said, all you need to do, he said, the track that's playing, nod your head to it. And the track that you're going to bring in, tap your foot to it. And once you get them both together like this, then that's going to be a mix. Then you've got to go from the first beat, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and he does it 4 times, and always drop it on the first one. And I'd practice every time he was out of the room. I practiced. So I started mixing vinyl probably around about 11, 12 years old. And then all the scenes came through. Obviously there was the acid house stuff. And then I was really into jungle, old school jungle. And we had a record shop there, and they was our mentors, Randall, Cool and Flex, Marley Marr, a couple of people, MC Fats, God rest his soul, passed away. And yeah, that was where we was. So we used to go there. We used to have a guy pull up with a car and open the back of the car, and he used to bring about 30 like dubs or white labels out of the back and bring them into the record shop. They'd drop them, behind the counter, and everyone from different areas would come in. And the record shop was funny them times, because they would pull out a record and go, yeah, this is the record to play, this is the record to play. And all the people from outside would buy these records. And then once everyone had gone, they'd pull these ones from underneath say, yeah, we've got the dubs here, we've got this, we've got that. Yeah, it stemmed from that. Started doing, like little guest shows on pirate radio stations. Okay.
Presenting as well on the mic?
Yeah, from there. And we used to go to it was back in the day, I think it was Bel Air, it was called, in Stratford.
Okay, so let me ask you, without taking you off the journey, unless I'm mistaken, you're from the same area Bobby and Steve, right?
Yeah, Forest Gate. Yeah.
So were you aware of them back then?
Well, I know my dad was. I know the people there. Like Forest Gate has got a history of musicians and people or artists that have come out of there. But yeah, Bobby and Steve, they would have known my dad and my uncle. They all went to the same school.
Okay, so fine. Yeah, because when you said that, I knew immediately, and it's how your paths would have crossed further down the line. Okay, so pirate stations, presenting.
Yeah, and then started, playing at little house parties and things like that. And then I kind of then steered off of music for a bit. I was just going out really, but I steered off of it. And once when I was in school, I got the opportunity. I used to play football. I got the opportunity. I started to play for West Ham, and I was playing for West Ham as just below the youth team for 3 years. And then I got injured. I got an injury to the back of my knee right at the time of where you would have made it transition to go YTS. And with all the stuff going on in the area, on the road, and friends out doing this and doing that, I kind of, got sidetracked in a bit, rebelled a bit in my life. And losing the football was a kind of another thing that took me down into a bad place. But, I just continued just to do music. And I was started to, try to produce music and make tunes. And I made a track on a program called Reasons. And at the time of making this track, one of my good friends, he'd just been doing the road stuff and he got sentenced and he got put in prison. So while he was in prison, we were sending him, like mixtapes of DJs and stuff. And that was really where, when I look back at it now, when they say you get to a certain point and everything clicks in the journey and it goes dum, 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 and you realize why you're where you are now. At that present time, we sent these mixes to him and there was 3 people on this mix. So one was Dimitri from Paris, one was Seamus Haji, and the other one was Louis Vega. And I sent a mix, a track within there. And I hold my hands up now. I did say it was produced by Louis Vega, just so I didn't get, they didn't say, nah, that's rubbish, that's this, that's that. And when he finally come out of prison, he said, yeah, that stuff you sent me, that track, that Louis Vega track, yeah, everyone was feeling it. And I was like, I made it. And he was like, no way. No, I said, no, I definitely made it. And I showed him the track that I made it. And that's when everything clicked. And I said, you know what? I would love one day to be on the bill with one of these DJs or get to the point of being with these DJs.
So you mentioned Reason. I used to make music on Reason. So you've got to be talking late 90s now by this point, right?
Yeah, so we're going into the 90s now. So
at least late 90s for Reason, yeah?
It was like Reasons 2 or something like that. Or Reason.
Okay. Well, I don't know what program we were using, but I know we were using it back end of the 90s into the 2000s. So I just want to make sure I keep relevance on the timeline. While I do that, I'll say that we have got some comments rolling in, so I can see everything's rocking and rolling. Thanks for being here, guys. Some technical issues at the beginning, but everything's working fine now. Okay, so you already had a taste of, and you believe in manifestation? You believe in, setting your sights on something?
Yeah, 100%. I've always been fascinated by manifestation, the stars, the planets. Where do we come from? Who are we? And this thing of aligning yourself in a place where these things can be possible. And I've tried to do it. And that was a manifestation of saying, wow, someone actually believed in it. And it wasn't that it was a lie, but they believed in actually what the actual thing was. And that put me on a path to say, okay, if they believe that it was that person, why can't they believe it's you? And why can't they believe you can do it? So yeah, I just had my sight set on doing all of these things, and just continued to play music. But didn't actually really put myself out there.
Okay.
So,
do you know why?
I think let's be truthful. I just enjoyed going out and partying.
I was going to say, did you used to bleach it hard?
Yeah, every weekend. Don't get me wrong. I used to play in the pub, so I'd play in the pub after like football training. We'd do it on a Wednesday, and we'd have decks set up in the pub for the weekend. And they would say, "I'll jump on the decks, Mike, play some tunes." So I'd play some tunes, and then Thursday night we'd probably go out, and then Friday I'd be playing in the pub. Saturday I'd be playing in the pub, and then that'd lead to Sunday, and then it'd be a Monday club, and then have like one day rest. Monday rest, and we'll be back to Wednesday football. And then my life changed. A lot of things changed in my life. And then it was more, that saying where people keep saying to you, get a real job. Like, and I was earning good money every weekend. But spending it all before it come to the Monday, if that makes sense. So, I would just continuing to delve in the wrong pathways. I come to a place of self-destruction. I was hitting things hard and doing things too much, and I came to the reality of this is just not the way to go. And and then my first son was going to be born, so I left London and I moved out, and I took myself away from everything, and tried to once again manifest something and rebuild. And I managed to manifest getting back into radio, and I was playing on an FM radio station in Bedford, and I held a breakfast show there for 5-6 years. There was doing interviews and doing all different things, but steering clear and still trying to get myself through life, get myself through the challenges of having a family and doing the right things, which I was trying to. But as life is, some things are not meant to be, and some things are here to, I guess, teach you a lesson or show you a pathway. I decided to give music up once again.
All right. So give me, how old were you then?
So now, because I'm skipping, I'm going forward.
But that's okay. If this is where you feel like the major moments, then that's fine, because it's really difficult to cover someone's entire life story in an interview like this. But this is how you feel the flow's working. So how old were you in Bedford?
So I moved to Bedford when I was around about 28.
Okay.
So so I was still young and still doing my things and still having that focus of that dream of, wanting to be around and playing with these DJs. And that was the scene that I wanted to get into. It was the house scene. Mm-hmm. That was a mad one, because whilst I was on the radio station, I also had House FM in my visions. And I was trying to manifest to get on House FM, and, using my platform that I was doing, learning how to present, learning how to interview people, learning how to do all these different stuff. Also learning new styles of sounds of the music. And then I applied to go on House FM 1 year, and I was told there's, sorry, but there's no space. So I said, okay, thank you, but thanks for getting back on the email. And instead of pushing it and trying to, keep flooding them, asking them, I left it to the following year. And then I applied again and put my, saying, I want to join again. Is there any space? And it was again, no, sorry, there's no space. And I'd done this for 5 years. 5 years I'd done this for. And it was the last one that I sent. I had something happen and I just broke down, and I was in a place of despair mentally. Everything my marriage had finished. My kids were living somewhere else. I was in the same area. I wasn't getting to see my kids. Music wasn't really fulfilling me now, because I'm thinking I've been doing this for years and years and years and years and years and years, and I don't feel that I've ever got to where I think I should have been. And maybe that was in my mind, because I was always thinking that I like I said, I'm a believer of manifestation. So I think I was manifesting the bad side of it and the downside of it. And it come to a place where I kind of had a breakdown, a little bit of a breakdown. And I sold all of my equipment. I sold my records. I sold all of my music stuff. I got rid of everything. I got rid of everything. You know, I was praying to God and I was praying to him, look, you know, if I get rid of all of this stuff and I do all of this stuff, can you give me some kind of help and get me into a place where I can rebuild my life, basically? And it still cuts deep now. But yeah, so I gave it away and I broke down and I was sitting in this room for hours and hours, just contemplating my life. I had suicidal thoughts. I was in a deep, deep, deep state where I just didn't see any way of getting out of it. But I still had in the back of my mind that I know I should get this opportunity. I should be there one time. Something should happen. And it was 2:00 in the morning. I got an email and the email come through and it was House FM. After all these years, it was House FM. So I'm at the worst place of my life now. I've got rid of everything. And now House FM saying, we've been watching you for the last few years and you always apply. There's an opportunity that's come up. Would you like to come to join the station? And I was in that moment because I've just prayed and asked for this guidance to come away from this, to start a new life. But they say when you come to the hardest parts of your life and the hardest tests, then things are revealed. And I think I had to go to that point before that was offered to me and that opportunity came around. And then that gave me that opportunity and say, I'm never going to let this go because it's only me that can stop it now. It's there to take and it's there to go with. So yeah, I said, I'll go to the interview. I didn't have no money to get there. I bunked the train. Like I got down to London and went to meet everyone. The meeting got cancelled.
Oh, gosh.
So yeah, the meeting got cancelled and I was like, oh, can you come back tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, of course, no worries. That's fine. Yeah. But deep down inside, I was thinking, how am I even going to get back? How am I even going to get home? So I came back the following day. And I'm happy that I did come back the following day. And I had a big meeting with all the management and with Bobby and everyone and Mikey and stuff. And I told them my journey and I told them my story. And, you know, they said there's definitely a place here for you. You know, your story's inspiring, what you're doing and, you know, the music that you play and where you want to go. And, you know, I went out of there with a big smile thinking, hopefully I've nailed this. And I got home and a nervous couple of days. And then I got the message to say, you know, there's an opportunity, come back and speak. And then I got offered a show and the show was offered and they said, can you do 10 till midnight on a Sunday? I was like, yeah, of course I can. I could do that. Knowing that the trains don't run after midnight. There's no way of me getting back to London to get the train to get home. But I took it and I didn't miss the show. I played every Sunday. I come out of the station. I got the night bus back to King's Cross. I got the train back to Bedford and I was getting home at like 3:30 in the morning and then going work at 5 in the morning. And that was because now, you know, I'm at a place where I finally feel that I've made it to where I wanted to be.
So let me, I'll put a timestamp. I keep putting the timestamp on these because I think it's important. So we're talking about 2007, 2008, or we're still in 2006, or is it a little bit later?
Yeah, probably I've been there for now, I think about 6 years I've been there now, coming up to my 6th year at House FM.
Okay.
So around that time.
Oh no,
Yeah.
so it would have been a lot later than that then, because if you're saying that we said 2006, if you've been there 6 years, that's like 2018.
Yeah, around about, yeah, probably, yeah, probably around there. Because I was on FM radio up here for a good 8 years,
Okay,
maybe.
just to put it all into perspective, and always as the house poet or Michael Grierson back then.
Oh no! So I was in Bedford. I played on a station. I was playing under Soul Funky Beats. That was my
Okay.
name.
Right.
And then I left the station and I came back to the station and I came back as Man from East.
Okay.
And then when I when I came to House FM, you know, I was given the option to choose a new name. And from the previous name, Soul Funky Beats, everyone thought I played soul. People even thought my name was Soul. Like, it's crazy. Man from East sounded a bit too road. But I wanted, you know what it was? I was manifesting in my head. I was thinking, you've got artists that are performing out, like, and they've got some weird names like Eats Everything or this and that, and, you know, the two of us. And so I just thought, okay, Man from East would work well. But coming back to House FM, after having a couple of sessions of speaking with people, they just gave me their insight on what Man from East would sound like to someone who's not from East. Do I really want to listen to this guy from East if I come from West?
I like that name. I think it's quite a catchy name.
Catchy name, isn't it? It's a good name. And I've played out under Man from East, and, you know, I've done all that stuff. And so I needed to come up with a new name, and it was a house station. And I like all different types of house, and the range is like, you know, going back and forth from old to new. I'm not stuck on that one where I just got to play all the new music. I like to play old stuff. And so I thought, what could that be? And I thought, I like to speak. I like to say some stuff. I like poetry. So I thought, house poet. So I came up with the name House Poet. And then I had to come up with a name for my show. So then I thought, how can I make a name for this show that's going to represent all types of house? And then I'm into like I said, I'm into the stars, I'm into the unknown, the parallel universes. And then I went, that's it, parallels of house. So it's like a winding door of parallel universes going from the years going through in one. So I named it the Parallels of House show. So yeah, that's what
Let me just say thank you to the people who are commenting, watching us on Facebook. Started off, I'll keep repeating this because I think it's necessary. We started off with a couple of technical issues, so I don't have all of the chat and comments at my fingertips, but we've been getting a few people saying that they're loving your story, and I know we'll get a lot of your House FM crew passing through to check out the recording. So throughout all of this, we've spoken about your passion, your dedication, and your commitment. All the way along, did you have any issues with your hearing by this point? Were you hearing impaired, or were you operating sort of like in the full spectrum of hearing?
So, like, I'll roll back. So when I was little, you know, obviously I found out from I used to suffer with real bad audio hallucinations, like banging, loud claps, loud sounds and stuff like that. And then I went to the ears, nose and throat place when I was young, really, really young, because I had what they called, you know, like a cauliflowered ear where the ear's pushed out. So we went to get that checked out. And they said, yeah, there may be some little issues because the hole's really, really small. But if he's okay, then, you know, I'm okay. So I went through life with, two different looking ears, basically. And then I started to notice at probably around about 20 years old, 21, that people always used to say to me, you shout, you talk so loud, you're really loud, you're really loud. And I'm like, no, I'm not. But I couldn't understand why I was being loud. It's because I couldn't really hear myself in a sense. And it was just after, all of these complaints, turning the TV up loud and stuff like that, I realized maybe there's something wrong with my hearing. And then probably about 26, 27, I started to watch TV, but when I was laying on one side, I could hear the TV clear. And then I was laying on the other side and it was a bit lower. And I thought, it's definitely something wrong. But I do music, so I was never telling anyone that I'm losing my hearing. And, my granddad, he was deaf, he turned deaf. So I knew maybe it might be hereditary. There might be something hereditary. So finally, I got to a place where I met, when I met, how can I say? It was before basically I got the hearing aids and I used to wear them, but I used to hide them. And I didn't used to wear them in front of people because I used to go out and then I just felt stigma, people looking at me and, this. And then I was like, I'm not showing anyone that I wear hearing aids in the music industry. But straight away, I know that my time's up. It's finished. It's finished. Who wants to listen to a DJ who can't hear the music? Or who wants to produce with a DJ? Can he even hear me? But I was still hearing. In a sense. So I got 2 hearing aids. And it was really my newest partner, Annalie. She was the one that gave me the confidence to you need to wear these hearing aids. They help.
That must have been divine timing. She froze up her heart exactly as you mentioned her name.
Did she? Oh, wow.
I'm assuming that is the Annalie.
That's Annalie. Yeah. So she was really the pinnacle part of this journey, where she said, "Look, just wear them," and I'm like, "No, it's embarrassing. Do you feel embarrassed if I'm wearing them out?" And I don't people to look. And she said, "No, don't. It's nothing." So yeah, I started to wear them, and then what happened was the left side of the hearing aid just started to not work at all. And I thought, I've got to go and see someone more about this. And then I got sent to a specialist, and the specialist diagnosed me with a condition called osteoperosis. It's the same as osteoporosis, like bad bones and joints tightening up, arthritis. But this is a thing where the 3 little bones in the ear, where the sound goes through, they vibrate. And these are starting to form together and calcify together. So as they're calcified now, they're stopping the sound coming in and getting sent to the cochlea that sends it to the brain through the auditory nerve. So I was in a situation now because I'm trying to mix, and when I'm taking off the headphones, I'm putting the hearing aid out. I'm doing all of these things. So I'm mixing off vibration, mixing off putting the headphones really, really loud, so I can hear some sound, watching the waveforms on the Pioneers and using my counting and timing with the beat. And as soon as if you see some of my old videos, I'd have the headphone on. I can't hear the speakers, and I'm just looking at the visual, and then I'm dropping it. And as soon as I drop it, I take them off so I can hear the mix.
Right.
So that's what I started to do. So I started to change the way I started to mix. And then we delved more into the hearing side of it. And I got what they call a bone conductor, and they put the bone conductor on the back, and I could hear birds tweeting around. I could hear everything. And I was like, wow. So I can hear, but I just can't hear because the sound can't get through, because these bones are stopping it getting through. So done the research, had different consultations. And then it was like really just before the lockdown came in, I had to wear the hearing aids for another, I think it was another 2 years, they said. And then after I wore them for 2 years, if there's no improvement, then I would be allowed to have this operation, which is, I can't pronounce it properly. It's called stapledectomy or something. But it's basically what they do, the free bones, they cut the free bones out of the ear and they put in a mini micro oscillating chamber. And obviously I knew what oscillating chamber was because I've done music. So I thought, oh, that's great. This is going to be great. I was told it's going to be, I've done the operation hundreds of times. It's pretty straightforward. You'll be in and out within the day. So I built myself up to have this operation, and it was only going to be done on the left side because the right side was still receiving sound, but at a low tone. And they'll only do it on one side, they said. So I built myself up for it, and then all of a sudden lockdown came in, and then we was locked down, and my appointments got cancelled. So then I had to go through the whole of the lockdown period back with, loss hearing here, loss of hearing here. And, it was a kick in the stomach, really. And I was like, built myself so much up to getting this operation. Now it's not happening. So I'm back at the same place I was when I thought it was going to get some improvement. So yeah, we was in lockdown. That's when I started to learn how to live stream, tell the truth. And then I started, doing the live stream stuff. And, I needed some kind of inspiration, and I love helping people. One thing I love doing is helping people. If I give someone my last pound, if it helps them, I'll give it to them. I'm that kind of person. I just like people to have better for themselves, and when I see them enjoying themselves or smiling, that's good enough for me. It makes me feel happy. I've always been like that. Never been a money orientated person. Never been a possession person. I've just been about life experiences and experiencing good things in life. So now what's happened is House FM, the management said, Mike, you're doing these live streams. We're in lockdown. Would you be able to do these at the station? And I was like, what? Of course I can do this. This is great. I'm going to go there. But, my miss said to me, you need to tell them about your hearing. And I was like, but if I tell them, I might not be able to be in the music industry no more. They might choose someone else. And I spoke with the management, I spoke with Mikey, I spoke with Dion and everyone. And they just embraced me, and they made all of this pressure and everything on my chest and all on my shoulders just go. And they said, Mike, you're deaf, so what? Your family, you're here with us. We're going to help you as much as we can. But, you've been honest, and we're going to help you as much as we can. So fast forward in them 2 years of doing all them live streams, I managed to do over 500 hours of live streams for the DJs. And that was the starting of the Facebook live streams where they was cutting you off. So I had to be there watching it. And I got to learn about all the DJs, their styles, their music and everything. And then when we came out of lockdown, I was given the opportunity to start doing it at the clubs and things like that. But then I was due to go back to have the operation. So, once again, I built myself up for this operation. Went in, was sat down, was told, yeah, it's going to be straightforward, quick. We're just going to cut here and do this and do this. And I said, all right, cool, that's fine. I said, I've got a small ear canal. Is that going to be a problem? And they said, no, if it is, we might open the ear canal a bit, but it shouldn't be no problem. It's fine. And then I went under. And then when I came out, that's my whole life changed. Everything changed. I come out, I was really like dizzy and feeling sick. And I just thought it was part of the
Anesthetic.
Yeah, I can never say that word. The anesthetic, I thought it was part of that. And they let me go home. And so I went home and me and Annalie went back in a taxi. And as soon as I got back and I got out of the taxi, my whole life changed. Everything started spinning around in circles. And I don't know if anyone's ever had vertigo or suffered from vertigo. But when you see someone, it's like you're going in a washing machine. And I couldn't believe that it was actually that intense. And I was bedbound. I ended up in a wheelchair. And I was in a wheelchair for a little while. And then I got rushed back to the hospital. And I was in the hospital for about a week. And they was giving me all different kind of things, not knowing what's going on. And then I came out and then it was like, yeah, the operation's done, but the operation went wrong and they made me permanently deaf. So I lost my hearing completely. So now in this ear, it's more or less, it's deaf. But if you've got anything over like, so like a fire siren or, like ambulance or something like that, it's like hearing it in a room really low at the back, like you can't hear it at all. So it's got to be over a certain amount of decibels. And yeah, that basically has just messed up my life, man. And I was, I'm now in a place where everything's in place. I've got bookings to play here. I've got events to do. I'm doing streaming. And I can't even sit up, can't even look straight because my eyes were doing what they call nystagmus, where they go out of control and spin round. So I was suffering from all of that. And I've been suffering from that for the last 2 years. So when you saw me in Ibiza at that time, I had all of those balance issues. I had all of the vertigo issues. I was taking some tablets. And what I noticed from it was that every time I was in loud music or anything like the sensory part of it, of the sound and the vibrations and the lights, my body was not being able to tell if I'm standing up or I'm sitting down. And then for the next 2-3 days, I was in a bad place. And I was just keeping it quiet and continuing to do what I was doing, trying to receive more help. And researching was the key. For me, researching was the key. Because I was back and forth to Adamsbrook Hospital. They don't know what it is. They're testing me to see if I've got brain lesions. They're testing me if I've got this. They're testing everything apart from saying, we got the operation wrong and damaged the balance organ in your body. So I've done this research. I read medical papers. I come to the stage of saying that you have damaged my balance organ, but I need to get back to some normality because the only way I can deal with this at the moment is I've had to mourn, like grieve and mourn my old self in a cell. The hearing person, the person was hearing and this and mourn and say you're no longer that person. You still are that person, but you're no longer that person. You're now deaf. So you got to try and find a way around this situation if you want to keep doing music. So yeah, I continue to keep doing it, but doing the research. And it's only literally just before Christmas, I went in for how the surgeon described it is 2 options. We can do the sledgehammer approach. This is the exact words, sledgehammer approach, which is going back into the ear and removing all of the bones, removing all of the balance organ, removing everything out of it. So you just got it on one side. Or what we can do is give you an injection, which is basically toxins. It's called gentamicin. And gentamicin is used for really, really bad infections. And basically when people are dying and they get into a state, so they want to kill off that stuff and get rid of all of those bad cells. And we realized that this side of my balance was at 100%, and this side of my balance was at 20 or something. And they were both trying to work out where we was. And that was then causing the balance issues. Even though I'm strong, I run, I was doing marathon, running 5Ks every 3 days, riding my bike, doing sports, doing all of these things. And I just got sidelined. I couldn't do anything. So yeah, just before Christmas, I had this injection into my ear, and they put the poison into my ear, into my eardrum. So it's a big needle like that, and they go through your eardrum, and then they inject these toxins, and the toxins are to kill the cells and the balance organs on that side. And I was told, go home, you're going to be sick, you're going to get nausea. And I thought, hang on a minute, this is supposed to help me not be sick. I'm going to be sick, I'm going to get nausea. It's going to be the worst Christmas ever. I'm going to be out, the family's coming, the this and that. And he done the injection, and I sat up and I went, oh, that worked. And he's kind of like, don't work that fast. And I'm like, no, something's definitely worked. And I was positive about it. And he said, 12 to 72 hours, it would fully affect you. And we was just sitting there. Me and Andy was sitting there going, 12 hours, 24 hours, 72 hours. Well, I can touch my toes. I can stand up now. I can move. I went back a month later and had another injection done. And I don't know what happened, but I was in the wrong position and I felt it all in go in my mouth. Said, oh, we need to do it again. So I spat it out, but I didn't swallow it. And they done the injection again, said just top it up to make sure there's enough in there. And I said, this one really hurts. It's really hurting me so much. And I went home, and then all of a sudden I started feeling like this rash coming on my face here. And then all of a sudden, this rash went all over my head, all over my thing. My skin started splitting, and it was all splitting and come up. I had a poisonous reaction. I got poisoned from it. So I was back at A&E again. And then they're like, you know, and I got to A&E and say, look, I've been poisoned. I've had this injection. And the reception's saying, you need to go back to see your consultant. And I'm like, they're miles away in Cambridge. I need to see someone now. And luckily I pushed them, and I met a nice doctor, and she prescribed me with some anti-inflammatory stuff and some creams. And I took them, and yeah, you know, I came back. So, you know, I never thought I would get past this point. And all I just said to them is, all I want is to be able to function, you know, walk down the road without feeling like a magnet's pulling me left and right, be able to lift up my new daughter and hold her up without feeling sick or feeling I'm going to drop her, and just get back to the old me, but the old me as the new me, now a deaf me. And yeah, that's literally where I am today. So I'm the deaf person, Michael.
Well, no, you're clearly so much more than that. I mean, because as everybody knows who watches these, I always try and not delve too deeply into people's histories to get it raw. And I'm sitting here, like I'm sure everybody else, just like hanging on your every word of, you know, telling us that. That really is pretty fantastic. So thank you for giving us the medical lowdown, so to speak, and we can grasp exactly where that is. And then alongside all of that, you still managed to forge a strong name for yourself in the industry. You still manage to get a lot of respect and be there. And as you say, I do recall, I'm not sure if it was last year in Ibiza, you were having a bit of a tough time with it on one occasion, and you were letting your hair down. You were allowed to play some music around the pool, and your energy was sort of like unbalanced in comparison to how you usually would be chilled. You blown off a little bit of steam there. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I was a bit. I think that was 4 days in, and yeah, I think everything came on top. Really, it all come on top, and I had so much pressures and so many things, and then I started to get the paranoid thing of everyone's looking at me, this deaf guy here, and why is he here, and da 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 da. And my mind just got the better of me, and that
imposter syndrome was kicking in, right?
Yeah, definitely, and how can I say, people what it was people, because I speak and I can talk, and I'm lip reading and I'm hearing some parts and not hearing other parts. It puts me in a situation where in conversation I miss quite a lot of it, and sometimes it's embarrassing, and sometimes people might ask you something and you respond with the wrong answer, or just go yeah, and it sounds like you're being obnoxious or being rude and you wasn't really listening. And I think it was a combination of all of that, everything that came on top, all of where I was, and still in a place not knowing if I'm actually going to be better. Am I going to get better? Or is this my life now? And yeah, we had some ups and downs. I think a few struggles between people and everything that was going on. And I was trying to work hard and do things, and
but family
got on top of me. So I just I went.
Listen, family have spats. It happens.
Yeah.
That was a minor glitch on the grand scheme of things. Let me ask you then about your studies, your academic work. Let's focus on that for a little bit. Tell us overall your qualifications and some of the your most proudest achievements.
Okay, so right, let's go for the beginning. I left school with no GCSEs. I just stopped going to school in the last year of it, and I left with nothing. And then after that, I done a little bit of studying here and there. I done a couple of little courses, but there wasn't nothing that I actually finished. I started a production course. I didn't finish it. I got enough information I needed to know just to get past this part. I was stuck at home. That was good enough for me. I went into another course to do something, and I found myself in a room just full of kids. And I was like, I can get through this. I can get through this. And then the pressure came, and I left again. But it wasn't until all of this stuff happened through lockdown, and with my hearing and everything like that, I started to have a look at some courses. I thought, well, maybe I might need to retrain myself or try and get into a course. And I looked online, and I thought, well, if I'm going to go for it, let me dream big. So I see a master's course, and I thought, masters in the creative industry's futures. So like creativity people within a master's within the industry of music. That's what I'm going to go for. So I sent the email, put the email across, thinking there's no way I'm going to get an email back or anything. And I got an email back from this doctor, and she said, can we jump on a Zoom and speak about it? And I said, look, I'll tell you the truth. I've got no GCSEs. I've not got no qualifications. I left school at this stage, but what I have got is enthusiasm, a bag of experience, and hopefully if someone can give me a chance, then I'm sure that I can do it. The academic side I might struggle with, but I know the theory and the practical side and stuff like that, I should be okay. Told him about my history, told him about everything I'd done music wise, and all the stuff I've done in the studios and helping people and this and that. And got to the end of it, and she said, "You're the perfect candidate for this course." And I was like, "What? Really?" And she went, "Yeah." So they gave me a place on the masters. And yeah, I was studying the masters, learning so much stuff about the industry, and all of the, how can I say, all of the dreams and all of the visions I had for putting things together. I knew how to do it, or knew what I needed to do, but I just didn't have the money or the financial backing to actually put it into place. And I'm not a person that likes to ask people for money or borrow stuff or do things like that. I've been brought up with the mission of, if you haven't got it, you ain't got it. You know, if you can't spend, you can't spend it. And you know, from an early age, I messed up my credit line, so there's no way I'm going to be able to.
Didn't we all?
That's what I'm saying. So there's no way I'm going to be able to go that way. But what this course taught me was that there's ways of, you know, obtaining meetings, ways of putting your visions across. There's ways of people to come in to back it. There's ways for people that can help you in different ways. And yeah, I worked hard and I got through the first section of it, which is like the pass of the grade of 7. It's like a 7 something. So it's like, once you've done that, that's in your field, you're a master within that field. So what I was doing in that sense was using all of my my knowledge, my history, and all of my video captions of doing the live streams, doing them at the clubs, doing filming, doing all of these things, and put them all together. And yeah, I passed that part. Then we started to learn more about just having meetings and projecting stuff to different kind of organizations. And they would have, you know, like Zooms like this, but they would have like an executive or a CEO from a company. They had one from, I think it was like the F1, one for who was a book writer, and all different types of people. And yeah, I plugged away and I'd done my studies, and then obviously that I had the operation, and that put a hindrance on my studies, and I continued to still study and put the work in, the paperwork. And yeah, I passed my masters, you know, but I didn't get exactly where I was achieving to get to. And I know if I didn't have the operation and I wasn't suffering with just trying to keep my head straight and get through and
literally keep your head straight.
And all of that other stuff, I felt that I could have achieved a higher rate of what I got. But
I think you're being completely harsh on yourself there. You know, what you've achieved is pretty impressive, to say the least.
So you know, it's been that's a real big achievement, because I wanted to, you know, prove to myself and, you know, to make my family happy, and, you know, for when my kids grow up, to say, you know, even if you go through troubles and strife in life and this and that, ups and downs, and if you put your mind to it, you know, you can achieve these things. And I know I see someone put a post up the other day. I wanted to comment on it, but I was just going to laugh because it says, even if you've got a master's, you can still be an idiot. But I think I'm far from the idiot side, so I'm happy just to have the master's. But yeah, and you know, hopefully that'll inspire someone and, you know, continue to help people. Also, whilst doing that, and you know, with the deaf side of, sorry, I need to plug this in quickly. With the deaf side of me, I had to start looking at other people who are deaf in the industry, and I happened to hook up with some people called Deaf Rave, and I'm not with them now due to personal reasons, but That's a reason I won't get into, but it's a personal reason where going to discrimination and people looking at you as deaf. But I went into this organization, changed a lot, created some amazing programs for deaf children, and to show them how to make music through vibrations, and a DJ program, how to DJ, how to, beat match, how to lay things down, a bit of theory, and rolled into a course where they would use a backpack, and instead of hearing the music, they would feel the vibration. So yeah, I created them things. I got opportunities. I played at some good festivals last year. I hosted Boomtown Festival as a deaf MC host and DJ'd there. And that was, we had like 7,000 people in front of us, and it was 6 all deaf people playing jump up drum and bass, and we kicked it up there, and that's a big achievement. And I got invited to the Houses of Parliament twice to go to some events. I spoke on Attitude is Everything, which is a thing that's trying to make deaf and disabled people inclusive in festivals, music and sports and all different areas. Because I think one thing what I've noticed within the industry of being deaf is the lack of opportunities, the lack of people helping. And it seems like, how can I say, put it this way, it seems like you're wanted, but you're not wanted for the right reasons. You're wanted just to fill the gap, to say we've got deaf people here, or we're helping.
Positive. I was trying to think of this word, this phrase a couple of weeks ago, and someone reminded me. Positive discrimination, I think.
Yeah, literally.
And isn't always appreciated. And you go out of your way to actively mentor people, and as you say, be a big inspiration for them. And you continue to push forward at House FM, station management now as well, right?
Yeah. So I don't know what I've done. I've made us really old. Sorry.
It's all right. I can still see you fine, and I can hear you, so don't worry about anything.
Yeah. So now through the stuff that I've done with House FM, I've been given the opportunity and work alongside with the management. I deal with majority of the live streams. I deal with adding people to the schedule and stuff like that. All the the international DJs sending in shows, making sure that they're all uploaded into the right places. And it's been, how can I say? You see House FM, one thing I would say what House FM and Mikey and Dion have done for me, they've given me the confidence, and they've given me the ability, the platform and backing to make me feel important, and make me feel like, they've got trust in me, and I do the job, and I'm 100% committed. And, I help the DJs. I try to help the DJs as much as I can, help with inductions. When they're having troubles uploading shows, or they need a live stream, I'll be there remotely doing it and jumping on remotely. So majority of the work I'm doing at the moment is remotely until when I'm in the studio. But they've given me so much inspiration to be this deaf person in this industry, and with 100% backing. Like I said, I'm not going to wear why are you not putting hearing aids on, Mike? Why are you not doing this, Mike? Why are you not doing that? So I've never had anyone believe in me. And I've never had, like growing up, and, never had no one say, come, you can do this. Let's give you the platform to do this, and let you let you shine and let you do what you do best. And I'm so grateful to them for, how can I say, changing my life in a sense, and finally being at a stage where I can say, no, this is my career. This is what I do. So, you know, within music, so I'm highly blessed and highly grateful, and yeah, I'm really proud to be part of it, and have that, not like I like statuses or anything, but just to have that thing to say you are part of the team and team player. And
the recognition. I think the beautiful thing is you've never laid back on what other people may have focused as a disability and try and gone down that route, because you want to stand on your own 2 feet with the merits of being a great DJ, a great technician, a great creative, a great mentor, and all of those shines through. And I'm fairly certain people will be aware of who you are, because you've been on some huge flyers and some huge lineups for 51st State and Groove Odyssey and the likes. But I think the people that see this who don't know you will definitely see you in a completely different light now, 100%. And I want to just bring you back to something that you said, because I want to give you the opportunity to correct that, because you said you haven't really had a lot of people stand by you and bring you come. You have had some inspirational people in your life down the years.
Yeah, yeah. How can I say it?
You don't need to back it up. I just wanted to say, because I'm sure some people will be like, "Hold on a minute."
No. I take that back. I've never had a role model in a sense of like Mikey, yeah, House FM. You know, like growing up with my dad in jail, and you know, here and there, and this and that, and even to this day. So for someone to turn around and you know, say, what do you think? And I say this, and say, run with it. I believe in you. That's what I mean. I've had opportunities, don't get me wrong. And people have helped me. But someone to have that 100% belief in you and say for instance, the streaming side of it. Now, I was using OBS, like we were saying, yeah? So I was using OBS, and then when I went to the thing and said, can you do the stream for House FM? I said, yeah. He said, what do you need? And I said, what? I said, I need this program, but it's £800. And he went, buy it. And I went, what? Really? You're going to buy the program? And I thought, I've never even used this program in my life, but I've watched it and I know this is what I need. And he just went, I believe in you. Take that, buy that thing. And I bought it and learned about it, and, you know, changed a little bit of tweaking here, tweaking there. And when we got to a place where he said, this is how I want it. That's my vision, but you're correcting it and putting it in the way you would like to do it. And now, before, where people were saying to you, I need you to do this. Now I get asked, how should we do this? How should we do this?
Yeah.
So that's, you know, what do you think? And how do you think? So it's having people there that believe in you 100% and, you know, put the trust in you, because we all know the station's big and, you know, the room for error is minimal. But having a trust in someone gives you the belief to know that, yeah, I think I can do this. I can do it, and given the opportunities to stand on the stage at these big events and see the likes of all your heroes playing right next to you, and intricately watching what they do, how they mix, how they put their sets together, and what they do is mind blowing, and it's just a blessing to be able to say, you know, I'm part of that. So when it comes to the end of my career, and, you know, I'll be able to say, yeah, I was part of that industry, and maybe I helped push some bits along.
No, maybe. Most definitely. Well, you helped me at the Garage City reunion last year, and thank you for providing me with that recording and that live stream. So, you will see Michael up there on the stage. Ibiza actually is not that far away, is it? Right, Groove Odyssey.
Ibiza's coming. So this year, I'm bringing the family with me. I'm bringing Annalise coming. Annalise, son and daughter has come in. Our new baby, Luna May, she's coming. And my mum's coming. So it will be good. I'll be dipping in and out, working and back and forth, but we're going from the Monday. So we're going to have a couple of days there first.
Okay.
And then get to work. And then hopefully, by the grace of God, hopefully I get a nice set at a certain time where my mum can come and actually see all of this work that I've been doing and see what I actually do. Would be
there's no hopefully. I'm fairly certain.
That would be our first holiday that me and my mum's ever been on. So,
wow.
Yeah, so it does mean a lot. And for all the, the trials and tribulations she's been through with cancer and stuff, and, septicemia and being in intensive care and all of these things. And as a strong woman she has come through, it will be a proud moment for her to see that. So yeah,
beautiful.
That's my ultimate goal.
Amazing. Well, don't be shy. Don't be too proud. Go to Mikey and ask him and say, "This is the situation, Mikey. I need this set, sir." And he's going to be like, "Boom."
Dion, we had meetings yesterday, and I was with Dion, and we was inducting some a new DJ that's going to be starting soon next week. So that will be out soon, which is really, really cool. And I spoke about that, and she said the same thing. Phone up Uncle and ask him, because we call him Uncle.
Uncle, I love that. Gotta love it. Okay, so during the course of the prep, when we were going to talk, we also said that we wanted to talk about mental health challenges within the industry and yourself and how people can get through it. But I think we have covered a lot of that in your own personal journey, the highs and lows, the dark times, and the strength that you need to get through it. And I think people will definitely get the message from us having this conversation. Is there anything else that you feel that we didn't get to chat about?
I would on the mental health side of it, I would just like to say that it's, every day is a battle with mental health, through to be just normal daily life, stresses, family, friends, expectations. And I think the one thing, that helped me was actually documenting it and actually speaking to people about it. And there's such a stigma, especially around men and men's mental health, that we hold it all in, and, we might find a space to ourselves and have a little cry, or, it all gets on top, brush it off, and then come back out. Yeah, I'm all right. But there's so many helpful programs out there. There's so many, groups that you can join and speak to people. And I think just overcoming the challenges and just knowing that you're not alone within this, even though sometimes when we come online, we, as artists or DJs and stuff, we come on and we're all smiley faced and hi, yeah, this and that, catch me and da. And as soon as that camera goes off, you're back to the normal, like, right, now how am I going to actually make this work? And that's when the pressures and the anxieties come, and the mental health comes into it. So I just say, always kind of be true to yourself. Never hold it in, because the worst thing, like I used to hold in my mental health and, just deal with it on my own. And that led me down some dark roads to, suicidal times. And, I've had places where I've, if you check out some of my other podcasts that's on some other platforms, you'll see the reality of where that darkness can take you, to where you're at a train track and you're sitting at the train and you're waiting for the train and you're you know, on a building, or you're somewhere, or you're wherever you are, and we've got drunk and the pressures have come too much. So you've taken a load of tablets, and I've been there, been through all of those situations. But one thing is, I don't know what it is, but even one time I was in hospital after taking over 100 and something tablets, because I never take tablets. And every time the doctor gave me tablets for mental health or wherever it was, I used to just put them in the cupboard. And then one time I was suffering deep from mental health problems, and they gave me antidepressants, and I've never taken them since. I've never been on antidepressants. I took them once. I went out to a ball and played at a ball, DJ'd at a ball, and I ate grapefruit. And I didn't know that grapefruit is a reactor to some antidepressants and could cause you to have psychosis. And yeah, I nearly jumped out of a car at 70 miles an hour. I came home, lost the plot. I took all the tablets, woke up 3 days later, admitting myself into hospital. And it was until the doctor kept coming around and going, look at this guy, calling the other doctors, going, how's he here? How is he here? How is he? They said one of them tablets or two of them tablets could have been dead. But I didn't take them with the intention to kill myself. I took them I just took them because of the psychosis and everything that went on. And then when I came out of that, I got assessed by the mental health team. And I explained my situation, explained them, and they just said it was a freak incident. But you've been given another chance in life. And since that day, I've never taken any tablet. And I've used CBT therapy, talking to people, speaking about it. And yeah, it's a hard time because I had a lot of my family telling me, don't put that on Facebook, don't say this, don't say that, don't say this. And that even got me into a worse state because I'm trying to get this out and try to better myself and make myself feel, more in a better place. But yeah, I just think if you are going through troubles, speak out, speak to people, there's so many there's so many different places where you can go to get good advice. But one thing is just, don't give up. And as hard as it is, and it's easy to say, no, you could just forget about it and get on with it. It is a struggle, but it's a daily struggle, and it's a daily thing where you gotta be grateful for everything that's around you and be grateful to know that you're here in this life for a reason. And still feel that I've got a lot more to give to people. And I still feel there's an ultimate goal to the end of this, wherever it may take me. But right now, I'm in a great place mentally. I'm in a great place now physically. Now my balance is back. Obviously, my hearings is what it is, but I'm now embraced and I'm back, and I'm grateful for being deaf and being a deaf creative. So, yeah.
Gratitude. There's not many more powerful words than gratitude. And you see me post so many times, you see my videos, and I do understand that sometimes it can be seem a little bit cliche and a bit blasé, but it's true. If you do have, wake up every day and go to sleep every night with that gratitude, then life just has to be better, right?
100%, 100%. I live my life by that. And try not to argue with people. And if you fall out with families or friends, fix that straight away, because these things, can eat up at you. And then if you are a person that suffers with mental health and anxiety and these kind of things, we all know what that pressure can do to your head, and you start overthinking and get yourself into a place where instead you could just go out and walk and breathe and, switch off and touch a tree and feel the wind on you.
Be at one with nature.
Yeah,
so So if people want to find you, I'm going to tag you in the description of this on Facebook, Michael Grierson. Do you have a house poet page on Facebook?
1 second, sorry. Let me just plug this one.
This computer's going to die. Go.
I've just literally looked, and I'm like, oh no, that's something.
You've been saying for the last 20 minutes you need to plug it in.
I know, I haven't.
Oh, you gotta love that. I'll say hi to a few people who are chatting in a sec. So, are we good?
I think we're plugged in. Yeah, we should be good.
Okay, so does House Poet have his own page on Facebook?
Yeah, so on Facebook, I'm under all of my Instagram and Facebook's under my government name, Michael Grierson. But under the House Poet. I've also got a website, thehousepoet.com. It's just a little bit about myself. And I've also got another exciting project that I'm starting up. And I'm just in the midst of creating everything and getting everything together and speaking with people that can help make this dream a reality. And it's to teach deaf and disabled children and create a safe space for people to come with their families and learn music and just talk and just to have a safe space for disabilities, deafness, and whatever it could be. And that's called the Def Jam Project. So all the W's, Def Jam Project.
Wonderful. Amazing. Well, Michael, I'm at a loss for words how to end this interview. Thank you for giving me your time. It's been wonderful to hear your history. Transfixed listening to your story, to the depth of what you went through. And you say you're proud of where you're at. I think we're all grateful that you got through it and you are out the other side. So, and I'm very grateful to you for your constant support of the streams and the interviews that I've been doing, always commenting, always dropping messages. So I'll just end off by saying thank you very much.
And yeah, thank you for giving me this opportunity on your platform, the amazing platform that you have. I've been excited since you asked me. And like I said before, I was a bit nervous. And I think all you can do is speak the truth, and hopefully the truth will shed some light and inspire some people. So thank you once again for everyone who's listening. And thank you for having me.
Respect, brother. Respect. All right, my daughter just came in then as you were saying your thanks. So I am going to come and say hello to everyone. Come on. She's never on the screen. This is Drew. She's just back from work. Say hello. Say hello.
Hello. Can't see or hear me.
Okay. Mike, I'll press this button. I'm going to say a few goodbyes to everyone. Thank you, buddy. Truly tremendous.
Thank you once again. Bye-bye.
Take care. Wow, that was amazing. Where's my screen gone? Here, I'm back. So we started off with a few technical issues, but we got through it all. Let me scroll up and give a shout out to one or two people all the way back to the beginning. So David, Emily, Andrew, Roach Rider, Black Wax, Jane Harrington, Dan Gurney, shout out. I saw some conversations about Bedford earlier. Justin Morrell was locked on all the way through. Thank you for your words. Also Ray Francis, Anna Lee, sending love, respect out to you. And I hope you have a great time in Ibiza. You all deserve it. Mr. G-Man, Gary Langford, thank you, buddy. Richie Leader was commenting earlier. Big shout out to Richie. And also to Rosie Suzanne on YouTube. I will read all of your comments later. Thank you so much. And Mr. Phillips as well. Jeff Jefferson, big up buddy. Mickey C. Did I say Mickey C as well? Big up to everybody. And Andrew Grant. I think that was everyone. Respect. Thank you so much. Yes, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. different times. In the day, I know people are at work, so it's difficult for them to watch and communicate, but you can always come and check out the full recording and make sure you take a look on my wall, because I have literally hundreds of interviews with people in the music game, well-known DJs, not so well-known DJs. I'm not sure I've had a story as amazing as that one yet, though. So once again, thank you, Michael. I'll press this button and I say respect to all of the crew, especially the Access crew. In April 2024, all of these wonderful people put £10 into the pot, and throughout the year, we are building a fresh drinking water well in Africa. If you want to get involved, you can see the link here on the screen. So thank you to all of you guys. And I'll ask anybody, if you need any graphics, if you need a website, you need any videos making, that's what I do to pay the bills. Holla at wardswebsites.com. Thank you for watching. One love.